Good morning. It's beautiful outside. The feature wall is done. The cozy corner has been created. And now I'm finally free to go outside and do some work out here in this beautiful weather. It's been like this for a week and I've been stuck in the house, so I have a massive number of tasks that I want to get to out here, starting with a nice leisurely stroll down to my friend Sanchez. I'll go into her pine forest and see if I can resupply my pine needles, which is what I use to start my fires. So let's go for a walk. Are you gonna come along? This guy is a lot more of a homebody. Mikey likes to come down into the garden and comes to the forest with me. This guy's always waiting up at home every time I come back. So I haven't been down to Sanchez in a little while. There are pine needles here on the ground. Kind of slim pickings though. So I'm gonna head up into the forest, have a look at what's happening up there. It's been a while since I've been up there. And hopefully there's just loads and loads of beautiful pine needles coating the ground, and it won't take me too long to scoop them up. We pruned back these enormous olive trees when we were doing picking, and it really has opened the space up. It's made a big difference. The grapevines are pruned when I had a few people over for a work day. So yeah, things are looking a lot more under control down here. It was crazy and wild before, and I couldn't even access the forest without being attacked by brambles. But now, oh, now there's a river here, a stream. So beyond the stream, I have a path, and I can actually access the forest. It's just so lovely and fresh up here in the forest. Just such a different sort of feel to where I am. Oh, and I forgot also, I've got these piles of, I guess it's just where they cleared the forest a couple years ago, but all this little brushy twiggy stuff is going to make really nice kindling for me. So I'd love to come up here with the clippers and have a go at attacking those piles, chopping it up to small pieces and bringing it back to use in my wood burner. So as expected, this is the pine needle motherland. So I'm going to fill up these 3 bags, and this should do me for a little while. Only the ones at the top are dry. There's all kinds of gunky, dirty, wet ones underneath here. So I'll just move around the forest and skim it from the top. I've just spotted this little spot over here that looks like it's the place to be. Needles heaven. This is dangerous. This is a pile of brambles hiding underneath these beautiful little pine needles. So this is a booby trap. But this part seems safe enough. And a little mushroom. Unfortunately, I didn't really get out foraging for mushrooms at all this year. I've been busy with the house, but next year I'm hoping to do a lot more mushroom stuff. I'm going to take this back and see if I can get it identified by a friend. Okay, that'll do. 3 very full bags. I think we've got at least 2 more weeks of sunshine ahead of us, so I think what I'll do is try to come back before it rains next, whenever that is, and try to get a supply of pine needles to last me the whole way through the winter, because starting a fire with them makes things so much easier, and that could also give you an idea of how obviously flammable they are, and they're much better in my wood burner than sitting here on the forest floor. Let's head back. I've got a lot more work on my agenda today, and I'm looking forward to it. But before I head back, I just have to say again, I absolutely love being in this forest. It just has a wonderful feel to it, a wonderful smell. And even though it's all pine, the hope is to one day chop some of the pines down to allow the smaller oak trees that are in the forest floor to grow big and thrive. And hopefully eventually the pine will be replaced with a native tree like holm oak or cork oak or other things that I don't know yet. But it's a magical space. I love being up here. I love that my friend Sancha bought this little piece of land, and I'm excited to, do some things in here, work on it in the future. It's getting really hot now. I think it's about 11 in the morning. The sun is blazing down, and I think I am inappropriately dressed. Not bad for December, but the nights are very, very cold. I think it's going to go down to 0 or below 0 today, which is a bit unusual, but yeah, I'll take the sunshiny, warm days any day and then deal with a cold night. That's fine. I have my cozy corner, and I've got my fire, and now I also have an electric blanket, so life is okay at night. Pine needles collected. Let's see if I can cram them in here. Stompy, stompy. I really thought this would hold all 3 bags. I have overestimated the squashy downiness of pine needles. They're actually quite springy, and they don't really squash down as much as I was expecting. But I got 2 bags in there, and I have this handy lid, so that's good enough for now, and I'll just store these in the bag. I'll use these ones first. So I'm very happy to have that done. The first task on a large list of an unknown number of tasks accomplished. So I spotted beyond these olive branches clementines, or maybe tangerines or mandarins. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm gonna pick one and give it a try. Which one do I want? Let's go with this little guy. Smells good. I've had these before. Last year the tree was packed with fruit. This year it's not looking so full. There's only a few on one side, but they were delicious last year, and I'm hoping that they're ready, and I'm hoping they're delicious again this year. Oops. Always extra delicious with a little bit of soil on it. Let's just break this apart. All right. How's the seed? It's like eating candy. Really, really good. I'm so lucky to have this little tree. I've got the 2 orange trees. I have a lemon tree that's completely packed this year with lemons. The ones on the top seem to be close to ready, and the ones underneath are still a bit green, but it's loaded and it's very exciting. Plus I have 3 lime trees that I've put into the ground myself. So it seems like citrus really thrives in this area, and I'm really lucky because I love these little things. I love lemons. Not so keen on oranges, but I do love orange juice. And yeah, I just feel really lucky. So I'm going to pick a few more of these, go up, drink a coffee, have a snack, change into something a little less warm, and I'm gonna come back down and tackle this bottom terrace. I want to clean up the olive branches that are here from when we picked in November. I want to chop them up, save some bits for firewood, use the smaller bits as mulch. So anybody out there who's watched my channel a bit knows that I'm obsessed with these. The brand is called KebTech. I'm really happy with them, but any sort of electric clipper, if you don't have them in your toolbox and you do lots of garden work, lots of snipping and pruning, they're awesome. I love them. Tool of joy. So I'm going to be spending probably the rest of the afternoon, this is going to take ages, just chopping the branches up. I could stick these into a burn pile, but I don't really like doing burn piles. You have to stand there for ages monitoring them, drag everything up there, and I don't have that much organic matter on my land, so having the leaves as mulch and the bigger pieces of wood, I'll save them. I'll save the branches as firewood for next year is, I don't know, to me that seems like a good idea. Having it all go up in a blaze of smoke seems like a big waste to me, and I have the clippers. I love using them. I have the time, so I'm gonna just, yeah, do that. So this is gonna take forever, and I think a lot of people out there might view this as a massive waste of time, but it's a beautiful day, and I actually really do enjoy it. I really, really do love these things, and yeah, saving the mulch and saving the kindling for next year to me makes it worthwhile. So I'm just gonna be chopping. Can't imagine this is the most entertaining thing to watch. So I'll give you a before shot of the bottom terrace, and I'll check in again when I have everything tidied up. So I've been snipping away at this job for about 3 hours, and I've got most of this bottom terrace cleared, and I'm really happy with the progress. It might seem to sound like a huge waste of time. I definitely realize that a wood chipper would be a great investment, but we will invest in one of those, but I'll do it with my friends, and we'll get something that's a bit more robust than the little ones that you can get for cheap. So a wood chipper is in my future, but for now, like I said, I really love this, even though it is, yeah, kind of repetitive. I don't mind jobs like that once in a while. I often will put an audiobook on, get my reading in, or sometimes I'll just listen to nothing but the sounds of nature, zone out, and kind of enjoy, yeah, the serenity of it all, enjoy the nice day. And it's actually, for me, a really nice way to spend my time. So I've probably got another 2.5 or 3 hours more of this, which I'll do tomorrow. So I'm gonna finish this one, and then I'm gonna head up to the house, enjoy the fire, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more work outside, on the land, or in the garden.
Good morning. So So it's about 9 in the morning, and I would have liked to have been up earlier, but it's impossible. It's way too cold. So this little guy, he's my little alarm clock. So you get up, have your pee, get out there into the world, and I'm going to have my coffee, get out of my pajamas, and join this guy out here because it's another beautiful day. But I really do think that you are the one with the right idea.
So first up for today, I'm going to edge around the bottom of the trees on this terrace, pull up all the grass, create about a meter diameter perhaps, maybe a little more, fill that with compost, and then I'm gonna water it with comfrey tea, and then I'm gonna mulch it with the olive leaves. So my plan is to keep topping up this compost bin with all the grass I pull out of the trees. And then I'm going to take compost from the other two bins that have been broken down, and I'm going to spread that around the base of the tree, water it with comfrey, and then mulch it. This compost is beautiful stuff. I don't really do anything with it. I don't flip it. I just leave it there and let it all settle down. Yeah, it looks really nice. It's got lots of worms in there. So I'm just going to continue on doing all of my trees. I've been meaning to do this job for such a long time, and I just never have. I've just never gotten around to it. It's very physical work, and I love it. It's exactly what I feel like I need right now. Doing the pointing and the feature wall and being on the computer, it just isn't quite the same as being out working on the land and feeling like I'm actually doing physical work. So it's going to be a pretty hard few hours getting all these trees done, and I'll check in again with you once, hopefully, I have all of my trees with these beautiful little circles filled with compost, watered with comfrey tea, and then mulched with the olive leaves. So I've covered the 3 trees on this terrace, the almond, the apple, and the neem tree, with compost. I've watered them with the comfrey tea, and they're ready for the mulch. And I could go down and grab mulch from the piles down there, but I need to tidy this terrace anyway, so I figured instead of focusing also on the bottom terrace with the trees down there, I'm going to do things one terrace at a time. So I've had a change of plans, and now I'm going to switch focus to more tool of joy action, and I'm basically just going to try to chop up all of the remaining olive branches on this terrace, clean it all up, use this stuff as mulch, and that means that tomorrow I can come trim the grass and just get this terrace completely finished. So I worked fairly late last night until about 5 o'clock, until the sun started to go down, and I didn't get finished, but I was up this morning and I did another couple of hours of work, and I've got mulch on all of the trees, and I really couldn't be happier. I actually ended up just taking some of the other branches that I didn't need, and I have dumped them down here. So I'll work on these another day and I'll clear up this terrace as well. But I'm pretty focused on getting this terrace cleared, clean, trimmed, and that's the next thing on my agenda. So I'll gather up all this firewood, chop the smaller pieces small, and the bigger pieces, I'll just keep them long and I'll chop them up as needed when I have hopefully a helper to help me chop them. It's easier to chop when you've got someone to hold. So I've got some wood clearing to do, and then I'm gonna get on the strimmer. So spending all this time, probably about 8 hours so far, just for a little bit of mulch and some kindling, might seem bonkers to some, but anytime I can use materials off the land, I'll take the extra time to process them and try to use that. And I've actually got more wood in piles than I was expecting, so it's time well spent as far as I'm concerned, and it's been very enjoyable being out in the fresh air after being cooped up inside for so long. So I've just pulled out these 2 buckets of, I guess, kindling-like wood, because I've filled with water. And underneath, I've discovered a little family of worms. So that's kind of gross, but kind of cool. So I'm just going to scoop these up with my gloves on, of course. I'm really crazy about worms, if I'm honest with you. Great for the garden, but still super creepy. Anyway, I'm going to come back, grab all these guys up, and stick them in my compost bin, because that seems like a much nicer place for them than under a bucket on a tarp. There you go, little guys. Thrive! Okay, job done, and I'm really happy with how much I got here. I'm probably just going to move these to Sinead's barn to dry out until next year, and we can chop them together as needed. Same with these. I'll stick them in a bucket, take them to her barn, forget about them until next year. So I feel like it's been a worthy endeavor, and I still have a few more bits to chop up, so I'll end up with a little bit more. So definitely worth my while. So it's been a long but very enjoyable and productive day of work. I've got a couple more hours left in the day before it gets cold and dark. Let's strim. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me. This grass is very dense in certain parts. So I'm just going to get on with the work, and hopefully I can finish this tonight. So I think I've only got a little bit of battery left on this bad boy. I will have gone through 6 batteries total. This is a 36-volt machine, which means it takes 2 batteries, and I love this thing. It's absolutely amazing. It's really nice and light, and it plows through the grass, even the dried stuff. But getting through this green, I don't know, juicy grass is a lot easier, and it is weirdly enjoyable, even though it's made me filthy. So I'm gonna just carry on till the battery dies. But I've managed to get through most of this terrace. I'd say it's probably an 8 battery job, so 2 more batteries worth, and I could have done the whole thing. But it has been very dense in some places and pretty tough to get through, as you can see by the state of the machine and by the state of my trousers and shoes. It's been a lovely 3 days of work. I feel like I've done a lot of the same things over and over again, but it's been really nice to be out in the sunshine, and I really enjoyed it. So that's it for me for this video, I think. It's been 3 very full days of land clearing. A lot of repetitive tasks, but I don't mind that. That's enjoyable for me from time to time. And I love the clippers, and I really love the strimmer as well. So it's been fun to be out here in the sunshine, and I hope you enjoyed watching me clear some land, basically. So thanks for watching, as always. If you liked the video, please do give it a like, and please comment just to say hello. I love chatting to people in the comments and answering questions. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.